Malacanang said President Bongbong Marcos is studying if a legislated wage hike would result in layoffs. According to Palace Press Officer Yusek Claire Castro, the president is carefully considering whether this pay increase can be given by small businessmen. Yesterday, the NCR Wage Board announced minimum wage earners will get a 50 peso hike in their daily wage effective July 18. Also yesterday, on the first day of the 20th Congress, most of the bills filed pushed for a legislated wage hike.
Pag-aaralan ito kung kakayanin ba talaga. Kasi kung magdudulot naman ito ng layoff dahil hindi kakayanin ng karamihang maliliit na mga negosyante, mas marami pong mahihirapang mga manggagawa dahil baka mawalan sila ng trabaho. Kaya po ito lahat ng ito ay pag-aaralan para sa ikabubuti po ng lahat.
Meanwhile, the Employers Confederation of the Philippines said they support the 50 peso minimum wage hike implemented in Metro Manila because it followed due process. They are confident the regional wage boards will decide against job losses or inflation. In fact, ECOP noted that if they factored in all other remuneration that increased along with the last year's wage hike, which is 35 pesos, as well as the newest one due this July, it would result in the highest daily wage ever implemented in the region, even higher than the 100 peso legislated wage hike approved by the Senate. However, ECOP is concerned that not much attention is being given to the sectors which are actually in dire need of a pay raise, more than minimum wage earners do.
Ang cost yan, hindi lang naman yung 50 ngayon, hindi lang naman 50 yan eh. Meron plus 30% yan sa mga employers. Dahil tataas sa SSS mo, tataas yung PhilHealth, tataas yung ibang contribution mo sa bonus, sa overtime. Taon-taon, binibigyan natin yung, ina-address natin yung formal sector, yung minimum wage earner. 10% lang ang 52 million yan. 5 million out of every ina-address natin, sinasabi natin manggagawa. Hindi yan ang manggagawa na talagang dapat i-address. Nasa manggagawa. Sino ba yung ibang manggagawa na taon-taon na argabyado na hindi naman sila better position like the minimum wage earners na sila naman ay talaga mga permanenteng trabaho niyan. Marami riyan.
And given all the back and forth on the wage hike, why 50 pesos and not more or less? Let's get the answer straight from the source. Joining us now is National Wages and Productivity Commission Executive Director Maria Criselda C. Welcome to the big story, ma'am.
Good evening and thank you for having me.
Well, first of all, how did you zero in on the number 50? Ano pong mga economic indicators ang ginamit ninyo to determine the amount?
Ang ating pong Regional Tripartite Wages and Productivity Board sa NCR, which is an independent body, ang siya hong nag-decision tungkol dito. Alam po natin na tripartite yung composition nila and based on their analysis of the socio-economic condition in the region, they considered the increase in domestic product, which, for example, in the first quarter is at 5.4%. And also, according to the latest data from PSA, the inflation rate in NCR had eased to 1.7% last month. And also, the latest unemployment figure revealed a 5.1% unemployment rate, which points to a good macroeconomic conditions. Those are the things that primarily triggered the decision of the board to give that amount.
Okay, one other macroeconomic indicator, napanood ko po yung interview ninyo kanina, no, Ma'am Criselda, ay ang GDP. Ngayon, in-adjust down na rin, no, ng ating economic managers ang ating GDP growth. Pero medyo malaki-laki pa rin yung 50 pesos compared sa mga naibigay na mga hike dati. How do you explain the interplay of that?
The GDP as one of the macroeconomic indicators is just one of the factors that the board considers. There are 10 criteria for minimum wage determination process that the board consider every time they go on wage deliberation. And the formal process would actually start with the consultation with key stakeholders, including the labor and management sectors. All the inputs that they gather from those consultation meetings, together with the public hearing that they conducted last June, the inputs that they gathered from all these activities enable them to come up with a good analysis of the labor market.
And every time
So
we...
at this time,
Go ahead. Go ahead po.
At this time, since the key indicators would point to a good economic performance, that's the reason why they said that let's increase the amount of minimum wage that we give to the worker. And that is also based on the impact analysis that was done by the DepDev, or the Department of Planning and Development.
Yesterday, we talked to the labor sector, and of course, yung allegation is that you guys never daw consider what is good for them or yung living wage, and instead, you tend to side, or the tripartite wage board would tend to side with the employers. Ano po yung mako-comment natin dito, ma'am?
We respect po the sentiment of our stakeholder coming from the labor union. But as I mentioned earlier, it's not just the basic needs of workers and their families that we have to consider in the wage determination process. It has to be balanced with the employer's capacity to pay and, of course, the overall development objective of our government to improve the economic condition of the country.
Ma'am
It's
Criselda,
a very tough process because you have to balance all these things. And the regional board also is very careful in terms of identifying the amount, because in reality, it is not only the minimum wage earners that would benefit from this. Also, by way of correcting the wage distortion, those wage earners earning above the minimum also tend to indirectly benefit from this, and that's an increase in the labor cost on the part of the management.
Well, Ma'am Criselda, there are also concerns that workers have seemingly lost their bargaining power. Do you agree, ma'am, na yung bargaining power nga nila isn't as strong or weighty right now? And what steps is the Commission taking to ensure that workers are empowered when it comes to negotiating fair compensation po?
In terms of the workers having a bargaining power at the firm level, the statistics would tell us that indeed, based on the administrative record of the Department of Labor and Employment, the number of unions are declining. But in terms of representation to the board, there is an equal number of representatives from the labor sector and the management sector. It is set in the law, and the commission and the boards follow those provisions in the law.
Okay, and for contractuals, ma'am, I know we always debate about minimum wage, but how would this impact those in the informal sector or in the contract, or those that are contractual or ENDO?
Yeah, yun pong ating minimum wage actually serve as an anchor for the workers in the informal sector. That is the reason why also the board is very careful in terms of setting the minimum wage. And as you know, those in the informal sector are not paid the minimum wage. And our intention, the reason why we have to be very careful, is that we want, as part of the strategy to develop the economy, is to also formalize most of the industries. yeah, that's one of the considerations that we have. So we wish that the increases being given do not result in informalization of most of the establishments in the country, considering that almost 99% of the establishments are considered as micro, small, and medium enterprises.
Well, ma'am, former Finance USEC Shelo Magno also did point out that there's data showing that productivity is really increasing in the Philippines, but the increase in pay doesn't match that. How does the Commission reconcile the gap between the increasing productivity but wages aren't increasing?
I have to mention that the productivity growth last year was at 3%. And the projected productivity increase for this year by DepDev is at 2.7%. And yet, the increase in minimum wage last year is more than 5%. It's in fact 6%. And for this year, the increase in the minimum wage represents 7 to 8% of the increase in the salary of our workers.
And I guess, how do we ask this, no? Yung mga workers siguro and the employers, how do you come to the table? I'm actually curious about the process. Do you call them to a forum, ganun ba, in a conference room, or do you write out letters? Paano po yung proseso nito?
Yeah, as I mentioned po kanina, nagsisimula po ito sa ating wage determination process sa pag-iimbita sa mga targeted stakeholders natin, and they conduct consultations. For example, in the National Capital Region, for the 2025 round of the wage determination process, they conducted consultation with the worker sector on May 22, and then another round of consultation with the employer sector naman on May 28. And then yung mga inputs po na nag-gather nila doon, together po with the inputs that they gathered during the formal public hearing. Dito po sa public hearing, kahit sino po ay pwedeng umattend nitong public hearing na to, especially po yung sa tingin nila they have a stake in the issue of minimum wage. They attended, in fact, more than 100 individuals or members of organizations attended the June 17 public hearing conducted by the board. Apart from the inputs that they gathered from all those activities, ang technical secretariat po ng board ay nagbibigay ng wage scenarios sa atin pong mga board members. Ang ating pong board members ay composed of 2 representatives from the management sector, 2 representatives from the labor sector, and then from the government side, we have the regional director of the Department of Labor and Employment, the DTI, and DepDev. So ito po sila, at yun pong ating mga sectoral representatives doon, yung labor and management, are appointed by the President for a period of 5 years. So sila po yung nagko-compose ng ating wage board, at sila po yung nagde-deliberate during wage deliberation kung sa tingin ho nila ay kailangan na hong mag-issue ng wage order. At kasama po nito sa pag-analyze nila ng ating mga wage scenarios at yung inputs ng mga stakeholders, ito po ang nagbibigay ng gabay sa kanila sa pagde-decide at sa kanila pong meeting during the wage deliberation. The amount of increase is not just a product of a formula. It's a product of a social dialogue. Yun po ang proseso na ating tinitignan, and the wisdom of the board, you cannot substitute the formula for the wisdom of the board.
We thank you for your time and for talking to us, Executive Director Maria Criselda C. of the National Wages and Productivity Commission.